Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 3070. Count submatrices with top left element and sum less than k. This is a medium problem and next I will show you my thought process and efficient solution from the basics. We are given a grid and an integer k, and we need to return the number of submatrices that have the top left element of the grid and a sum less than or equal to the k that we are given. So if we are given this input, here is the visual representation of the grid, and we are looking for submatrices that have this top left element and a sum less than or equal to the k that we are given, in this case 18. So first, remember that submatrices are either squares or rectangles. For example, this is not a valid submatrix. Now, as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 valid submatrices that include the top left element and have a sum that's smaller or equal to the k that we are given. So in this case, the result is 4. Here the sum is 7, which is smaller than k. The sum here is 13, which is smaller than k also. The sum here is 13 and the sum here is 16, which is smaller than k also. For example, this submatrix is not valid because the sum is 25 and 25 is greater than the k that we are given. My first observation here is that we always need to use the top left element, and this means that we only have 3 types of submatrices. Submatrices using row number 0, submatrices using column number 0, or submatrices using rectangles considering this element. So let's go one by one. How do we get the number of valid submatrices using row number 0? Well, we can try each one. We can go one by one. We start with this cell, and here the sum is 7. 7 is smaller than 18, so we can add 1 to the result. Now we can continue with these 2 elements. Here the sum is 13, which is smaller than 18 also, so we add 1 to the result, and this is 2. Next, we can try with these 3 elements. Here the sum is 16, which is smaller than 18, so we add 1 to the result, and this is 3. And this is fine technically, but the problem is that it's very inefficient. First we iterate this element, then these 2, then these 3, and so on. Remember that we can have a lot of elements in this grid. So if we want to avoid repeating work, we should use something called prefix sum. Let's see how this works. Let's say that we have this array and we are trying to get the sum of the 2 elements efficiently in big O of 1 time complexity. For this, we can build a new array where we are storing the accumulated sum of the elements here up to every index. So we start from index 0, the accumulated sum is 0, plus the current number we have 2. 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 plus 8 is 15, 15 plus 2 is 17. So now how do we get the sum of these 2 elements in big O of 1? Well, we can take the accumulated sum up to the right bound, meaning up to this position, and subtract the accumulated sum up to the left bound minus 1, meaning this position. 15 minus 2 is equal to 13, and this is equal to 5 plus 8. And just to be clear, what we are doing here is taking the accumulated sum up to the right bound and subtracting the accumulated sum up to the left bound minus 1. That's how we are left with this chunk, which corresponds to this up here, okay? And we are solving this in big O of 1 because we only need 2 lookups, one for the right bound, one for the left bound minus 1. Each of these requires big O of 1, so overall time complexity here is big O of 1. And the process with the grid is very similar. We can build a new grid where every element is initially 0, and we are using this as our prefix sum grid. So now we are iterating every element starting from this one. The accumulated number is 0, plus the current number, the result is 7. And given that 7 is smaller than k, we can add 1 to the result. Next, we are here. the current number is 6, and the accumulated number is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13, and given that 13 is smaller than k, we add 1 to the result. This is now 2, and this means that this is a valid submatrix. Next, we are here, and we do 3 plus 13, this is 16, and given that this is smaller than k, we add 1 to the result, and this corresponds to this submatrix. And we can do exactly the same with column number 0, because remember that we always need to include the element in the top left corner. So we do the accumulated number up to this point, meaning 7 plus the current number. 7 plus 6 is 13, so here we put 13. Now we are standing here, and the question is, how do we compute the sum of these 4 elements? Maybe you are thinking about taking this accumulated number plus this accumulated number plus the current value. 13 plus 13 plus 6 is 32. And as you can see, the sum of these 4 elements is not 32. It's 25 actually. So we are double counting this 7. And this is because this 13 includes 7 already, and this 13 includes 7 already also. So we can take the current number at this position, meaning 6, plus the accumulated number in the previous row, 13, plus the accumulated number in the previous column, meaning 13, minus the accumulated number in the diagonal, 7 in this case. And the result here is 25. So we put 25 here, and given that this is greater than k, the result stays at 4. Now we are here, and we can do basically the same. We take the current number plus this accumulated number, 16, plus 25, minus the diagonal is 13. The result here is 29, so we put 29 here, and given that this is greater than k, the result is 4. And just to be clear, let's see what's happening here. If we look up here, we have the accumulated number of these 3 elements, okay? 7 plus 6 plus 3 is 16. If we look left, here we have the accumulated number of these 4 elements, okay? Meaning these 4 positions. As you can see, we are repeating work here. So we need to subtract the accumulated number up to this position. This 13 is the result of 7 plus 6. That's what we are subtracting here, okay? Given that we are repeating this rectangle, we need to subtract one rectangle, so we subtract 13. That's how we reach 29, which corresponds to the sum of every element in the grid. Overall time and space complexity here is big O of the amount of rows times the amount of columns, because we have to iterate and build this grid. So with this in mind, now let's go with the code. First, we can say that n is the length of the grid. M is the length of grid at row 0, and we need a prefix sum grid. This is an array, which includes an array with 0 times the amount of columns. And we need this for every index in range, the amount of rows. We can say that the first element in the prefix sum is the first element in the grid. Why? Well, because the accumulated number up to this moment is 0, and 0 plus the initial number is the first number. We can say that the result is initially 1 if this first number is, if this is smaller or equal to k, else we start with 0. And now we can fill the first row and the first column of our prefix sum. So let's start with the first row. For this, we can iterate every column in range from 1 to m. And we can say prefix sum at row 0 and the current column is equal to grid at the same position plus the accumulated number prefix sum at the same row and column minus 1. Okay, and we can check if prefix sum at the current position is smaller or equal to k. In this case, we add 1 to the result. And we can do the same for the first column. We can say for every row, meaning for I in range from 1 to n, prefix sum at the current row column number 0 is equal to read at the same position plus the accumulated number, and here we take the previous row and we always go to column number 0. And here we check if the current number is smaller or equal to k, we add 1 to the result. Now we need to fill the rest of the prefix sum grid, so we iterate the rest of the positions for I in range from 1 to n and for j in range from 1 to m. And every time prefix sum at the current position is equal to the current value in the grid plus the accumulated number, which is given by the accumulated number in the previous row and same column plus the accumulated number in the same row and previous column, and here we need to subtract the accumulated number in the previous row and the previous column. Okay, and after doing this we can check if prefix sum at the current position is smaller or equal to k, we add 1 to the result. And finally, after all of this, we can return result. So this is the entire code. Now let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.